there, YouTube. I'm back again today for another game review. And today I'm very excited to check out Blank Slate from USAopoly. This is for 3 to 8 players. Age is 8 plus. It'll take about 20 to 35 minutes to play. And in Blank Slate, you are going to have a word in the middle of the table. And on that word is going to be either an underline at the front or the back of that word. Everybody is going to write down a word that would go well with that word on a dry erase pad. So let's say that the word is paper, and there's an underline right in front of it. Someone might write construction. Someone might write parchment. Someone might write, funny paper. I don't know. You're going to write down different answers. You're going to reveal them at the same time and gain points if you match with other people. It's an incredibly light, simple game, but is it good? Let's open it up, and I'll tell you what I think. Alrighty then, we're going to take a look at what should get inside a Blank Slate. So first and foremost, we have our handy-dandy rule sheet. It's 2 pages, double-sided, full color, full of pictures, illustrations, examples. It's very well done. It should have you up and running in no time at all. So big thumbs up on the rule booklet. So in Blank Slate, you are going to be given fragments you're going to be given a word pretty much, and then there's going to be an underline under either the front or the back of that word, and you are going to have to come up with another word that can go right here, either to make it like a compound word or a 2-pound word or something like that. And if you match with other people, you're going to get points. Let's show you how you do it. So first and foremost, component-wise, everybody's going to have their own little dry erase board right here. What I do like about these dry erase boards, I don't know if you can really tell it, is that there's an inseam right here. So when you set it down, it's not going to scuff at all, even if you did it like this. So really nice, and I hope more game companies do that. Everybody's going to get their own erasable dry erase marker. It has erasers on the end, which is great, and these are actually really high quality markers, so thumbs up on those, at least for gaming reasons. Next, you have your scorecard right here. You're going to be trying to go to 25 points, and everybody's going to have their own unique color, which, as you can see, clearly outlined on the player aid, which is awesome as well. Then you're going to have this deck of cards right here, and this really is the star of the show. And how it works is, let's just show you how the game is played. So one person is going to flip over a card and say candle blank. They'll put it out in the middle of the table. Then everybody else is going to write down an answer. So let's just say candle wax. That's what I think of when someone says candle. Somebody else is like, ooh, candle lit. And then somebody else said candle light. So let's just say we do it like that. So everybody's going to reveal. Same time, we'll say wax, lit, light. Now this is one of those weird ones where like these are very close answers. Should you count it? And that's more of a house ruleable kind of thing. For me, I'd say no, because I do think they're different things. But in this particular instance, no one would get any points because you didn't match. And so that's an example of a bad round. Now let's show you an example of a good round. So the next one we have is gun. So this person might write BB, and this person might write shot, and this person might also write shot. So then we reveal them. Boom, shotgun, BB gun. This guy's like, oh man, I was thinking about writing BB gun, but I didn't do it. Then anywho, you are going to then see who gets the points. And wow, I didn't notice this because we haven't played it at the full player count yet. Orange and red are really, really similar. I don't like that. I think this is orange, but let's do a quick double check-sies to make sure. No, that is actually the red. So yeah, that's something I'll have to mention in the paper counts. So anywho, red is going to gain 3 points because they matched with green and only green. And green will also get 3 points. So what you're trying to do is match with one other person. If you match with one other person, you get 3 points. Now let's say in this hypothetical situation that purple had also played shot. Well, then what would happen there is instead of getting 3 points, every one of them would get 1 point. So you're trying to match with just one person, but just matching in itself is going to be good because you're going to get points. You also notice there's different colors. That's just because you're going to have more cards. There's double-sided cards there. Anyway, the first person to get to 25 will win the game, and that in a nutshell is how you're going to play Blank Slate. Alright then, Blank Slate from USAopoly. What are my final thoughts? Let's go over the pros, let's go over the cons. First, on the con side, game's not going to be for everybody for a variety of different reasons. It's an incredibly light, simple party game, which means if you're looking for something that's heavier, that has strategy, this is not going to be for you. And it also means that it plays best at the higher player counts. Because part of the fun thing about this game is when you have an answer that matches with somebody else's answer, you're like, oh my gosh, I thought nobody else was totally going to put that answer. And it's like, yeah, we're on the same wavelength, baby. Which is much more likely to happen when you're playing with, 5, 6, 7, 8 players. as opposed to 3 or 4 players. So if you're planning on playing this at 3, 4, or 5 players, there's other better party-esque games that I would definitely recommend to you. That being said, if you're planning on playing 6, 7, 8 players, there's still other better party-esque games that I would recommend to you, but I'll talk more about that later. Continuing on side, the only component gripe that I have, the red and the orange look very, very similar. At least to me they did. When you're looking at them, the outlines of the things, you might be like, wait, are you red? Are you orange? It's a minor nitpick, but it still is annoying. They really should have chosen a different color or made those more clearly defined. Another comment I have with this game is that it says its age is 8+, and then it's like a family game. No. Get out of here. I brought this into my classroom, and I played it twice with 2 different groups of kids, and biggity boom, it failed miserably. And I knew it was going to fail from like the 3rd card in, and I was like, oh, this is bad. Because here's the thing. In theory, this game, yes, it's super simple. It's easy to learn. It's easy to teach. Anybody who can spell and can write should be able to play it. But with kids, you know, take for instance, let's just take one of the cards in here. I'm going to get one out, and we're going to do ourselves a little example of what might happen with the kids in my classroom and what potentially did happen depending on which card I grab. So, we have no. Oh, no, this one's a good one. Silver. So I asked, you know, a group of 8, 9, 10-year-olds, silver. And I got, like, bell, that was my answer. I wrote bell, and then silver, gold, silver, metal, silver. And it was just, they were so far off base because here's the thing. With this game, normally when you see a word, you have maybe 2, 3, or 4 things pop in your head. You're like, I could do this, I could do that, I could do this, which is still a small amount even for an adult. But for a kid, that amount dwindles down to 0, 1, or maybe, if it's like a really, really open one, 2. But even then, it's still, because here's the other thing. It's not a time game, but there's still the pressure of being the last person and knowing that everyone else has written something down and you're just like, I can't think of anything. And of course, if you're freaking out about not being able to think of anything because you're a 9-year-old kid, you want to be cool and want to be popular, it's even harder to think of something. And it just bombed so hard with the kids in my classroom to the point where we're like, all right, we're just going to make this a best out of 15. And then I was like, you know what, we'll just make this a best out of 10 game. And I tried it again with a slightly older group that was 10 and 11, and same result. So if you're looking at this as a family, as a family game, play with your kids, probably not one I'm going to recommend to you at all. Any other cons I have with the game? The one component gripe, I have the light, simple nature of the game. And no, that's what I got on the con side. Moving on to the pro side, I want to start off by who I might recommend this game to, maybe. And that is the Target crowd. And I'm not saying that in a demeaning way, but Target tries to sell a specific type of game most of the time, either feeding off nostalgia or, you know, social games, like the kind of games that get people together, get around a table. There's not much thinking, there's not much strategy. They can play it. Now I know they have advanced considerably over the years, and they're having more and more strategy games there. And I'm not saying strategy games are any better than this game, but this is a very light, simple game. I feel like this is the kind of game that if you play maybe 4 to 5 games a year, and most of them are at like company Christmas parties or get-togethers or family gatherings, this is the kind of game that could work well for you. That's the only group of people I say, yeah, maybe consider this game. For everybody else, I have a very hard time recommending this to just about anybody. Because while I don't think it's a bad game, I also don't think it's a very good game or a great game. I think it's an okay to good game. And the more, you know, I played this 4 times, twice with adults and twice with kids, and nobody was wowed by this game. That's what I want to start by saying. Nobody was wowed by this game at all. Nobody was like, oh, that game's great, I gotta go pick that up. Is this a Target? And I was like, no one said that. And that's bad. You know, normally when I play games with different, diverse groups, somebody in the group is going to like it. Even when it's a crap game a lot of the time, or a game that most people think is crap, somebody's like, yeah, that's good. I really like that game. Nobody was like that with this. Everybody's like, yeah, it's okay. It's good. It's not amazing. No one had any desire to play this game again. It's the kind of game where I felt like, aside from the kids, because kids are dumb, they'll take anything to give them for free. If I would have said, hey, you know, once I'm done reviewing this, does anybody want this copy? I don't think any of the adults would have taken the copy. Which, that sounds really bad, but you have to realize that the people that I play with a lot. They play with me a lot, and I make that offer quite frequently. I'm like, oh, there's any games you really like? Sure, have at it. And I give away quite a lot of games. But getting back on track, that's about the only group of people who I might say maybe consider getting this game. The only other games you play are like Cards Against Humanity, every once in a while, or Apples to Apples, or Catan, or Ticket to Ride, or something like that, yes, this one might be one you want to try before you buy, but for everybody else, it's just a really hard recommendation. And I'm supposed to be on the pros, aren't I? So let's talk about the pros. Component-wise, aside from the red and orange, the components are great, really great. They got the little thing to hold the cards, double-sided cards, easy to read cards, really nice markers. The boards are really nice. I love the fact that they're raised, so you don't have to worry about them smushing up. And I don't think I've seen any other game do that. So good on you for USAopoly for putting that in there. Rules are easy to learn, easy to teach. You can have this game taught in probably 2-3 minutes, which is great. Honestly, you probably have taught in about 1 minute. It's just one of those games. It's like, here's what we're going to do. Like that little example I put in the middle. Here's the 3 different cards. If this happens, you get 3 points. If this happens, you get 1 point. And if this happens, you get 0 points. There you go. Let's get going. It plays very snappy, which is a good thing. But in the end, Blank Slate is a very hard recommendation for just about anybody. I probably should be showcasing the box. And I think it's an okay to good game, but it's something that I have no desire to ever play again, and I don't think the people that have played it with would disagree as well. So that is Blank Slate from USAopoly, one that really needed something else to set itself apart, or better cards. Yeah, better cards might do it too, but then again, I think it's... And there's the thing, like, they have so many cards that, yeah, I don't know. There's Blank Slate from USAopoly. If you enjoyed this review, please be sure to click on that subscribe button down below and in the comments below. Let me know what is something that you are a literal blank slate about, something that you have absolutely no opinion or knowledge about. For me personally, I'm going to go with crocheting versus knitting. I don't know. I couldn't even tell the difference between the two. Actually, you know what? That's a lie. That's a straight up lie. Crocheting versus some other forms of needlework. What's the one where they make... No, then I have opinions. You know, it's really hard to not have opinions on stuff. Okay, I got it. We're going to go with Star Trek Gale Force 9 versus Star Wars Animated Series. Never seen either of them. So there we go. There's my opinion. And yes, I did actually knit for a short period. I actually, as bad as it sounds, I learned how to knit specifically to woo a woman. I used to go to her knitting circle at Barnes & Noble. And I played it off like, oh, do you knit too? And she was like, oh my God, you're so transparent. I was like, yeah, I just wanted to spend more time with you. And she ended up digging it. But then she broke up with me because apparently I got too clingy. But I really liked her, man. I really did like her. Like, that was the thing. Like, I'm not a particularly clingy guy when it comes to relationships, but God, I was just so into her. Like, she had, like, such low self-esteem because she used to be pretty overweight, and now she was just smoking. Like, she was a legit, on anybody's scale, 7.5. But for me, she was like a 9.5, 8.5. You know, I just thought she was gorgeous, and she had a really good job. She had a government job, and she made like 80 grand a year. And she was frugal too. She was still living at home, so she was, you know, she was like, we would go out, and I'd be like, I can pay for this. She'd be like, no, I gotta pay. And it was just, oh, it was amazing. But man, screw that one up. But you know what? The weekend that I did screw it up, I ended up meeting my wife, so say la vie. And wow, this part has gone on almost as long as the review, so I should probably shut up. But let me know in the comments below what's something you are a blank slate about. And as always, thanks for your time, YouTube.